Hello there, Virgo. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot forecast for April 6th through April 12th. I am using my Shadowscapes deck this time. The name of the deck is Lavender. I name all my decks personal names. It's kind of crazy, I know. But anyway, so she's my Shadowscapes deck. And what we've got going on for Monday, Virgo, with you. Page of Wands. This is a very creative and inspirational message. So this just tells me that on Monday there's going to be some kind of verbalization or written communication that, and maybe even it's going to be a body language, but there's going to be some kind of message that comes along to you Monday that just totally inspires you to new heights, or maybe even to do something completely new. A lot of times these kind of things can come in when we're seeing other people and how they actually live their lives, how they handle certain situations, and we kind of go, gosh, I wish I handled it half that well. You know, that's very inspiring. So that could be a message of inspiration that comes in for you. Also, there can be just this message of inspiration, just somebody who's a friend, or maybe doesn't even know you that well, that says to you, you know what, you are really good at this or that or the other, and it kind of makes you feel like, well, maybe I can take this to the next level. Excuse me. Maybe somebody walks up to you after they hear you just even humming around at work, and they say, you have a really fabulous voice. You know, and maybe they even say, I have a band and we're looking for a vocalist. You know, maybe they don't say that, but maybe they tell you, well, you have a fabulous voice, and maybe it inspires you to take some voice lessons and start actually singing out, singing publicly. You know, so it's going to be something like this. It's going to be something where you see someone in action and you start striving to do things, kind of copying off of them to handle things well. Or it's going to be just a message of inspiration of somebody saying, you know, you're really good. You could really go places with this. So one of those two things I see happening for you, Virgo, and that is Monday for you. Okay, so Tuesday, what we have coming up, we have the Lovers card in reverse. Blah, 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 blah. None of us really like to see that card. Just basically means that you have some kind of relationship, probably significant other, but doesn't have to be. Could be family member, friend member, friendship, or co-worker. And so what's going on in whichever relationship this is talking about is just there's a disagreement or a fight. There's something that you cannot agree upon with this person that comes up on Tuesday. And it's kind of a bummer. It really feels, it feels like it's very frustrating to you. This is not just like a, oh, well, we'll just agree to disagree. It's something that's very frustrating to you, and it's almost even painful to watch this person as they have their perception on it. Because as you're watching them, it feels to you like they're making this huge mistake and there's nothing that you can do about it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm feeling coming in on Tuesday for you Virgos. Okay. And once again, this is a general reading, so not everything is going to apply to everybody. What I do is I ask Sacred Spirit to bring up the things that the majority of your sign needs to hear for each day. So if you don't happen to be in the majority, then there are things that come up in this reading that may not apply to you. Okay? So if you want a specific reading where I just look at only your energies, then you would want a private reading. All right, so Wednesday, Virgo, what we have coming up is we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is telling me that you have reached the end of a cycle. So this could be somebody done with school. This could be somebody that has been in a relationship and learned enough life lessons from the relationship that now it's time to graduate and move on to something bigger and better. This could be somebody retiring. That would be definitely an end of a cycle. Somebody leaving one job to go to another job, or being promoted from one job to another job. That's the end of a cycle as well. The neat thing about 10s are, even though technically a 10 is the end of a cycle, if you know anything about numerology, 10, when you crunch it down into its core value, is actually a 1. because 1 plus 0 equals 1. So then the 10 in numerology is actually also a 1. So on the 10 part of it, you're ending a cycle. But since it's crunched down to a 1, you're also beginning a new cycle. So these things go hand in hand. They always work together. So you've got one cycle ending, a new cycle starting. And so that's what this card is talking about, that you're coming out of a cycle that you've been in for a while and beginning a whole new one. So I always think it's exciting to graduate. It's exciting to finish a cycle. To me, it's a little bit bittersweet, but it's always exciting to be beginning a new one. Yay! So that's your Wednesday, Virgo. And then on Thursday, what we have showing up for you is we have the High Priestess. Wow, you're the second sign to get the High Priestess reversed on Thursday. Isn't that interesting? So the High Priestess reversed on Thursday is just telling me that Thursday you're feeling a little bit out of touch with your spirituality and your inner man. You're feeling a little bit sort of on your head. You're having a hard time finding your balance. And so when we're feeling this way, it makes it harder for us to make decisions. It makes it harder for us to feel like we know where we're going in our life, what our life purpose is, those types of things. We're just feeling a little bit off. And so that's what I'm seeing for you Thursday, is that you're dealing with the fact that you're feeling a little bit off. You're kind of looking for, okay, what's causing this and how do I bring this back around? Okay, so that's your Thursday, an active day. I really feel like an active day. You guys are not unaware of this feeling, and you're also not unaware of some things you can do to fix it. Namely, for one, meditation. Okay, so Virgo, on Friday, you have the 9 of Pentacles showing up in reverse. This is interesting. We had the 10 of Pentacles on Wednesday. Now we've got the 9 of Pentacles, but it's reversed. So 9 of Pentacles is telling me that you are looking at your overall situation in life, your lifestyle, how you handle things in general in life. And when you've got a 9 of Pentacles, that means that you're seeing some things that you want to adjust. You want to change some things that are going on in your life. And so I'm seeing that Friday, you're becoming aware. I don't feel like you're actually enacting changes yet, but I feel like on Friday you're becoming aware of some things that you do want to change, and you are I feel like you're starting to explore options for how to make some of those changes happen. Like I said, I don't feel like you're taking action just yet, but awareness is always the first step in change. Okay, so Saturday, Virgo, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords in reverse is just telling me that on Saturday there's going to be one of two things happening. Interestingly, I do feel it splitting along the gender line here. So, for you Virgo males, you are going to have somebody showing up in your life on Saturday that you'll be interacting with. I shouldn't say showing up. They may be in your life pretty much a lot anyway, but there's somebody, a female, that you will be interacting with, male Virgos, on Saturday. And this female is somebody who normally the two of you really kind of click very well, because normally she's very logical minded and she kind of leaves emotions out of stuff. And so she's able to make very logical, thought-based decisions, much like you. So that's why you guys kind of click in this way. But on Saturday, when you run into her, she is being really overwhelmed with emotion. Overwhelmed. And for somebody like her, this Queen of Swords personality, for somebody like her that normally is logical and normally suppresses emotion, this is a very uncomfortable situation for her. If somebody else is overwhelmed with emotion, she leaves the room because that makes her uncomfortable. Well, guess what? She's overwhelmed with emotion. She can't leave the room. She's still there wherever she goes. So talk about uncomfortable, like trapped uncomfortable. And so you're going to be interacting with her on Saturday, male Virgos, and I'm feeling like you are going to be the shoulder that she has to cry on. And I'm feeling like when you see her, she is not yet ready for solutions. And if you think about this person, Virgo, this person is very able to come up with her own solutions whenever she's ready. She's highly intelligent. It's not like she's a little slow. She's not, the dullest knife in the drawer by any means. She can come up with solutions just fine for herself. But when you are interacting with her, she just needs someone to let all this emotion out with. And so the best thing that you can do for this person, male Virgos, is just be the ear. If you have the type of relationship where you can put your arm around her without her wondering what's going on, that might be a good thing. Just that kind of reassurant touch would be nice, if it's appropriate for you, the two of you. But yeah, don't try to bring her solutions, because I'm not feeling like she's ready for solutions. She's just ready to be heard on Saturday. Okay, so that was for the male Virgos who are watching. And for the female Virgos, guess what? This woman that I just described to the male Virgos, that's you. To varying degrees. Not all of you will be as extreme as what I just described to the male Virgos, but you will be feeling overwhelmed with emotions at some point on Saturday. Ooh, there's something floating around in there. Hang on. Okay, and for some of you, and obviously this is pretty specific, so this is not going to apply to all of you, but for some of you this has to do with news about a baby. And there's all kinds of different variations of news about a baby that's showing up on Saturday. This can be news about a baby for you, female Virgos, or this can also be news about a baby for somebody else that you know. But it is some kind of news about a baby, and there's all kinds of different variations on the news. For some of you, you're going to be really overwhelmed in a positive way. For some of you, it's not going to be such a positive feeling that you have about this. But for a lot of you, this is going to be, a lot of you females, this is going to be about news about a baby. Okay? Now, Virgos, Sunday. 8 of Cups in reverse. 8 of Cups in reverse is one of my more interesting situations that come up. Okay, so 8 of Cups in reverse is just talking about, didn't we just end a cycle? Yes. Okay, and is this tied to the Wednesday ending of cycle? Yes. Okay. All right, so Virgos, here's the deal. Wednesday you ended a cycle. For a lot of you, that's going to have to do with relationships. For some of you, it's going to have to do with jobs. There could be other things that has to do with, but these are my two biggies that come up, okay? So Sunday, guess what goes on? This end of cycle that you had, you're going to be thinking twice about it, and you may be walking right back into where you just came out of. All right? So for those of you that it's relationship, we're talking about a relationship that on Wednesday you had decided that for all the effort you were putting in, you weren't getting enough back. You were feeling depleted by the relationship instead of lifted up by it. Well, still, for whatever reason, Sunday, you decide to go back and try it again. Try it one more time is what I'm hearing. Try it one more time is what Spirit is telling me that you'll be thinking on Sunday whenever you get back into this situation. For those of you that it's relationships. That's interesting. Okay, now it's not actually going to tie in for everybody on Wednesday. At first I thought this tied in for all you Virgos on Wednesday, but it doesn't. There are some of you Virgos that Sunday is completely independent from Wednesday and your end of cycle that day. And for those of you that that's the case, this can have to do with going back to a job that you thought you would never go back to, or an industry that you thought you would never go back to. Probably not going back to the same exact position you were in, although for some of you that will be happening. And is it Sunday? An interesting day for that. And then also, like I said, this can be another relationship, maybe one that didn't end on Wednesday, that you thought you were done with, and you go back into that. And then I'm also hearing that for some of you, this is going to be a family relationship where you felt like, you know what, it's toxic for me to keep talking to this person. I just can't be in contact with them anymore. I feel like There's a lot of guilt there for you. You feel like you've sort of abandoned this person and you know that they need help. And so for you, there's a lot of guilt in the idea of not contacting them. So I see you contacting them even though they really deplete your energy. I see you going back into that situation with them on Sunday. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that card. There's enough variations there that I think all of you will be able to figure out what that's going to be when you see it. All right, so Virgos, that is your week. For those of you who would like to schedule a private session with me, feel free to check out my website. I'm at amista.info. That's amista.info. Once you're there and you've poked around a little bit, if you still feel like I'm the best person for you to work with, feel free to contact me and we will schedule a session for you as quickly as possible. And then for everybody else, I will see you here next week. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.